This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live market chat. Tuesday, September 26th. Slightly hungover, but we're gonna do this anyway. No, I had been out, as some of you guys know, out on vacation doing a little fishing. Took some great photos last night, and just wanted to talk about the market. If you're surprised by what's going on, I don't think you've been paying attention to what we were expecting. End of quarter, end of month. People aren't buying, people aren't selling certain things. Certain things will hold up, certain things will get flushed. And then you have, wow, some issues with budget stuff, right? You got just all sorts of fun stuff. And so I just wanted to open this up and talk about some of the things I'm watching, looking for, keeping an eye on, and just help people out if they have any questions. Because again, I know people know I'm on vacation, but I'm going to take maybe an hour here just to kind of hang out. Since I'm not doing the nightly recaps, it's hard to upload videos. It's easier actually to do lives where I'm at. So if you can hear this, can I get a mic check? 1, 2, 1, 2. I'd appreciate it. But if not, we will continue on. Just giving it a second. I know people are coming in. Audio is all good. I appreciate the mic check. Mis amigos. You guys are the best. All right. I'm just going to kind of start my thought process. The markets, as we've talked about. Oh, if you're new to the channel, want to join the Discord room, let me drop a link in the chat. Also want to talk about, oh wow, hold on real quick. This video, I don't know if you guys ever have neck and shoulder pain from trading, right? I'll drop the link of it. It's unbelievable, this video. I'll drop it in the chat in a second. Sometimes your ribs get out of place from muscles contracting. If you ever had that, hit me up. I've got a video that fixes that in like a day. Because every once in a while I get a tight neck, tight shoulders, and it's like, man, I must be sitting at the computer too long. And this exercise has been mind-boggling, saving my life. So anyway, because again, if you work out a lot, you get tight muscles. You know how it goes. All right, so the market in general, as we've talked about, end of quarter, end of month, going into a budget deal, again, as we know, they'll wait to the last moment. So I'm anticipating some sort of flush. I mean, is it really today? I mean, I guess you could consider today a kind of a flush, or tomorrow, and then the market might chop around when new money comes in. But there's no guarantee, because they could drive this thing off the cliff. So if you're short Micron, like we talked about, you took profits hopefully yesterday. Now it's chopping around in front of earnings. Not surprised, right? Like, just, this is the thing, right? Like, nobody, and not saying nobody, but don't be surprised when names like Micron going in front of earnings, who are already down, oh, come on, speed up, are holding, watching the 50-day. Now again, I don't anticipate it going much higher. If it does, have capital. I mean, second mouse gets the cheese, first one might get the trap, and if it dumps, it dumps. It dumps. Hello, Thomas. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining in. So Micron, leave that alone. If you're short oil, and a lot of people are like, oh, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, just wait for it to pop. Wait for pops every time. Now people go, well, what about this trade? And it's like, well, define your risk. It should be very simple. I mean, do you want to short up in the 80 plus range, or do you want to short down here in the 70? Of course, duh. So define your risk. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you can't spell flush without oil. True flushes. And I'm talking about like royal flush. Like, if the market's going to flush, oil is not safe. Like, I always tell people, like, they're like, oh, what about bonds and dollars? I'm like, you know, those, be careful in those. But I do know one thing. Man, someone said they were buying bonds today. Ooh. Again, I mean, you define your risk. Banks are holding on to them and getting crushed end of the quarter. So I have a feeling they're going to continue to unload these things on bonds. And so we probably will get the capitulation that we're all looking for a bottom in bonds. But I mean, it could get uglier. You don't know. Dollar just keeps, I mean, who would be selling the dollar right now? It just keeps rolling. But oil, Feds, right? They're going to go after it. CME, margin requirements, they'll do all they can to knock oil down at some point, right? Nothing is safe. MPC, you know, some of you guys identified this trade. Like, kudos to you. Look at this 20-day. If this 20-day breaks, boop. I don't know what else to say. Shorting ExxonMobil on every pop to the 116, 118 range if you can get it. I mean, look at it today, like 2-day range, 3-day range, 4-day. Like you can see, like right around mid 116s is probably about the max high. Same thing. It could go. Give yourself time if you have oil shorts. I know people are buying puts, which again, if you know how to trade them, great. Just give yourself time, please, for the love of God. Do not buy puts that expire this week. I hope it happens this week, but give yourself time. Again, what if it gets really bad? What if it gets really bad? Right? Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing any questions, and we're good to go. I mean, you pick your devil here. PXD. Not surprised it's like kind of bouncing around with this thing. Things anywhere in the 229 range. I think you jump on that. Oxy. Again, some of these names, some are down. Chop. Right? Oxy. XOP, which gets interesting to me. I like that, how that rhymes. I mean, this box is kind of what I had as important. Like, look over to the left. You've got some, like, support resistance around the mid 145, 146, maybe even 147. I mean, if this thing... I mean, it's not going to get over... It looks like it's not going to get over the 8-day. I mean, I think you can take that short with a stopper. Caterpillar, I mean, sneaky little gap today. Sneaky, right? Closes at the high yesterday. 50-day, gaps down, right? Because that's the close. Here's the open. So it is a gap, even though the candles are verde. Let's see what happens here. Because the longer it stays under the 50-day, the more likely it does what? Blech, pukes. Check the Discord room, make sure there's no questions. Cool. Moving right along. Apple. Congratulations if you shorted this. And again, I said in the last couple days, just wait for it to pop. Uh-oh. Now, this whole thing about titanium, again, I don't know if this is rumors or not, but supposedly the titanium case holders do not dissipate heat well, and the new chips are overheating. They're trying to use their A17 or whatever, A7, A whatever. Someone correct me if they want. Long story short, though, you know, with what's going on in the world, how many people can afford to buy a $1,200 brand new iPhone that's literally no different than in the last one? And Samsungs are making better phones. I mean, let's talk about actual characteristics, features. I mean, do you want to buy a brand new refresh of Apple that's not much different? I mean, I'm not. I got the 14. I'm staying on this thing for a while. I mean, until it's made of gold or platinum, then I'll jump on it. Now, speaking of gold, remember how I tell you guys when I get tons of like ads about buying and selling gold and silver, I'm like, don't trust it. And then I get trolled by stock twits, never bearish, always bullish kind of folks. A couple days ago after the Fed, I'm like, I don't trust it. There you go. Oops, excuse me. Yeah, staying on my iPhone 11 till it dies. Yeah, I agree. Silver, dead. GDX. Remember, I told you it doesn't go independent of the markets until the Feds pivot. Again, I don't... Someone called me the gold whisperer. Again, I don't always trade it because sometimes I don't know if there's like the best opportunities on it. But if you've been following this channel for any period of time, I'm going to tell you, I know gold, I know silver, I know miners. Sometimes, not sometimes, more times than not, there's not a trade there. There's other things that are better. Now, again, could we trade gold and silver every day? Bleh. If you like watching paint dry and the grass grow and candles burn, I guess. You want some incense? Long story short, leave the metals alone. I'm telling you, wait for the Feds to pivot. The bonds, again, I thought they would bottom in the 92, 93, but then it made more sense to me as someone in the Discord room said something that I heard and thought about and didn't think about until recently. If banks, maybe it was Roth or Khan, I can't remember. Well, I want to give credit where it's due. Banks are sitting on a ton of bonds going into the end of the quarter. Does it not look like we're kind of in this little and then excuse my sounds. I know they're amazing. I just don't know if I would touch them. Someone's talking about shorting dollar. Now, again, I mean, if you were a bank holding dollars, do you want to dump your dollars? I don't think so. Now, again, we know this is a straight line move. Proceeds probably what? Some sort of down in the dollar. But is anyone really going to be selling dollars into the end of the quarter? If you want to look like a genius, you got your genius bar at Apple, you're not probably selling the dollar. Now, you could say the same thing about oil. I get it. But I know one thing. Feds don't mind a strong dollar, and they'll try to support bonds. They have no desire to support oil. So just keep an eye on it. Again, I mean, I like the drillers shorting with defined risk. Again, it's all defined a risk. Like if you're sitting here looking for certainty and you're going to go all in and go, all right, putting a handkerchief over my eyes, I'm going to walk away and just hope it works out, then you are gambling. You might as well just go roll dice because wrong happens. Again, I love ExxonMobil here. Breaks the 20-day. See you later. MPC breaks the 20-day. Adios, amigos. See ya later. SPY, I guess we should get into the indexes, right? Maybe. See if there's any questions. I don't think so. Nope. No questions. Good. I think most people who are in the Discord room and pay attention are pretty comfortable with shit. Oh, excuse my language. When we talk about this gap starts to move, but every day has to be down. No, we talked about like intraday, how the market will rally and float around, and then it gets what? It gets sold at the end of the day. Well, Monday, I didn't do a recap. I apologize, but I was thinking in my brain, it's very interesting that we opened low, closed high yesterday, and then what we do? We gap down today. Now, do we really just give it more juice to go by Monday's action? I mean, let's go back and look at when things were a little more squirrely, right? Like you'll see like these green days and a downtrend, and then they come back and follow. I mean, you'll see them in here. Green day, and then bang. Again, is it a science? No. Remember, this is an art. Like this kind of stuff, and then bang. So if you are short, again, as we get closer to the end of the quarter, maybe you take some off. Maybe you're taking some off today. I don't blame you. And maybe rolling into oil shorts. I don't blame you on that. But at this point, I mean, people will say we're kind of oversold, 451 down to 427. I mean, do we have a date with the 200-day? 0.382? I mean, it's kind of feeling like it, doesn't it? It's kind of feeling like it, right? I'm going to just delete this box. It's a little too many blue boxes. Right? Does it feel like we got a date with the 418? 420, bro. No, I don't know. It feels like it. It really does. We'll get there today. I wouldn't complain. I would take my puts and run and keep some obviously stock shorts, but just be ready to like play around with it. What's going on in the main room? Next stop for Brah. 420. Unreal. People are wondering why I have a hangover. I don't ever drink, so I had a few drinks last night, so they hit a little harder. Qs. People with their SQQ and their Soxus, I mean, I don't think there's much to do. I mean, watch. There's way too many lines on this. I apologize. I got to do a little cleanup. I'm a little OCD here. I mean, we break the lows, y'all. 200-day. I mean, you gotta. Let's. Clearly, I haven't been doing much drawing at nights. Maybe the 200-day. Again, there's a lot of pain potentially coming. Like we just got started. Remember, where's the what is the VIX at? It's a whopping 18 and change. Remember, my VIX futures, I don't pay for them. It's like an extra $20. Wine is fine, but whiskey is quicker. Yeah, I don't drink. I usually have vodka sodas. But here you go, VIX breaking the 200-day. I have no clue where it'll stop. Maybe 20? 28? I mean, if you were short, you should be sitting here going, damn, feels good to be a gangster. Now, again, could they pull the rug and say somehow they're going to figure out the budget thing? Any point. Again, the more you're up, the less you own. Profits. Harvesting profits along the way, especially if you got options. Because remember, your options, and I hope to God you have them in the money. IWM, I don't know why we wouldn't come back down to 170. Apple, did I already talk about? Yeah, I think I did. But still, I love it. The fruit. Have an apple tonight. 200-day. I mean, I don't know. ABC pattern, 196 to like 198. So like 27 points. Takes you like 160, takes you down into this. Takes you into this box. But notice what we did with the 100-day last time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Apple has a date with the 50 Fibby. So that's cool if you're short that one. Amazon, man, this thing cannot rise at all, which is slightly sad that I want to short more. But, if you shorted your Goog, high five to you, mother. Yeah, that looks great, y'all. Pennant, rubber band man getting tired, more tired. Breaks the 20-day with professional gap. Adios, amigos. Not much to say there. That looking good. Meta, I know some people are frustrated by it holding up. I don't know if they got something going on. But I don't know why this wouldn't play catch up at some point. Like catch up. I mean, again, if it's one of those things where this holds up, I'd be mind boggled. Netflix, this piece of oh, hey, Scott. Thanks, buddy. Riding this channel low. Not surprised. Tesla, Eric was saying, watch the 100-day. Doink, hit it. Bouncing, 2-day range. I mean, BS AI meta event tomorrow. Okay, thank you for reminding me of that. That's probably what it's holding up into. Maybe that's what smashes NASDAQ even more tomorrow is when Meta gets metaphysical. Good call on that one. They might not roll. It's kind of like Micron. Like, they have earnings tomorrow night. As we talked about, like, there's probably shorts, there's probably longs, there's all sorts of, like, choppy action that might hold up until the punch. And meaning, like, the punch, like, whatever that news is. I mean, honestly, I'd love to see it, dude. If it rallied back into the 70s, punch your grandmother. Short this. Sorry, I can't say that, maybe. XLF, I mean, banks, low of the day. Bet. Puke. Hey, bro. No, you're never late. We're just talking about all the stuff you probably already know, my man. New lows. Carry. I mean, it's holding up, I guess. Holding up the IWM, but it's like, yeah, I guess it's at support for now. It's trying to hold on. But this thing's been leading down. I mean, it's just a matter of tempo. Taiwan semi. Nothing really looks good. But that's sometimes where you might get the a rip back. Oh, NVIDIA. This thing was at 428. I was watching this. Man, I didn't short this. Just slapping myself for that one. 8-10 day. I mean, this thing is just holding. And then at some point it's folding. I know another good friend of mine who's short this one, and I think he's probably gonna ride NVDS into the sunset retirement. I don't know. I mean, where could it get to? I mean, it's hard when these things decay. I don't know why I wouldn't go from 30 up to I mean, you could get into a 60 handle. I don't know. Let's just not play that game. Fantasyland, Candyland, we don't know. Is there any other stocks other people are looking at? I'm here for y'all. Exxon Mobil, talked about this. Watch the 20. Oh, MPC, you about to do it. Oh, Eric, you're big short NVIDIA still? Cool. I traded around it. I rolled a lot of mine into some fruit. I rolled in the fruit. I've got a ton of cat short. I've been loading oil shorts on all pops. ATV I was looking at. Okay, I'll check that one in a second. I've got that. I've kept those MPC shorts. I was like, man, this thing looks pretty good. This thing could drop 20 points pretty quick. It's just hard for me to really go aggressive NVIDIA, which is probably my problem here, is that I'm looking for things that I feel like are more aggressive. Because NVIDIA is just there's no bounce. And let's call it what it is. I mean, going from 410 to 427 is nothing. You have candles that are wider than that all through this trend, right? So just call it what it is. ATV Activision, I thought I guess they didn't get bought out, right? By Mr. Softy. This is hard. Imagine all these gaps are because of news from Microsoft. I would lay off that. I would just lay off that one. Yeah, facts. If you shorted NVIDIA, and this is sometimes where I talk about swing trading versus day trading. When you got the Well, you got the fucking obvious goods. You gotta let it roll. Now, NVIDIA at some point will rally 20, 30 points again, but you probably just slam it back down. I mean, it's going nowhere. Nowhere. JP Momo? No. Breaking that 100-day? Uh-oh. Retro Raggy. Morgan Stanley, piece of, talks about this thing, like, and this is what I always worry about in stocks sometimes. Is like you just go, you're going to get these like bullshit bounces, and then it comes back right back. I mean, look at that. Dude, that would have been a great trade. If you had options there, because the options on Morgan Stanley are dirt cheap. You could have made 1,000, maybe not 1,000, but a couple 100% quick. Goldman Sachs. It's got to be breaking the trend. No, not even there yet. Okay, well, when it goes, it goes. Right? I just don't, the financials, I mean, pick your battles. You got to get it near the highs to get to the juice. If you want the juicy juice. Adobes, I mean, just kind of blasting through some of these. Material names, I don't really have any thoughts on them. It's kind of like gold. Other than oil, I mean, I just like, again, if you got Nucor, at the highs, you're dancing. You're dancing. Now it's just chopping around. I mean, these things are due to bounce, but I don't trust them, so. Again, I appreciate all the love, support, and generous donations. Some of y'all with the super chats every once in a while. That's super cool, man. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. I'm sitting here hanging out. Wanted to give my time to you guys just in case you had questions. I mean, I don't... Like something Harry was talking about XBI. Don't be surprised if certain names just kind of, I don't know, they just get wide and loose sometimes at lows. And I'm not talking about like at Home Depot lows. I'm just talking like, like remember First Solar, like, or not First, the solar names came down and then they rallied and then boom. Right? Down and then boom, pop back. Like, right? Like trap people. DKELA, I liked Moderna. I liked the idea, but then I didn't like the price action, so I got the hell out of it. Luckily. I mean, that may have been my trade of the month, just recognizing it's not working and just getting the hell out. Taking the L so that I could take big dubs elsewhere. And I mean, that's kind of the psychology of it. How do you like your charts on advanced BRK? I don't use the advanced charts. I just all use my e-signal stuff. They've been taking hundreds of dollars off of me a month, and I just love these charts. I've always liked them. I've always struggled with some of the other trading platforms because I don't like how you can't copy stuff to all time frames, and it just gets annoying. Can you go over the next? Oh, hold on. WA holding probably. Yeah, I mean, it can't really. Probably waiting. Can you go over the next setup scenarios going into the next month? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really use their charts. Sorry, Danny. Next setup. So this is, again, I said this at the beginning, but I'll repeat it because it's definitely worth hearing again. I wouldn't be surprised SPY gets down to the 200-day. We talked about this day kind of like a nice little, like these 2 days were kind of a reload, like wash people out. I don't know why we wouldn't start screaming lower, especially if the budget talks get what I think they're going to do. Because I think there's a point where, damn, kick it like Pele, bend it like Beckham. How far can they kick the can down the road? I think people are getting pissed off. And again, I don't want to be political, but when you're shipping off, when you're going to cut the government, but you're not going to cut Ukraine spending, you're not going to cut certain things, you're really going to start pissing people off. So again, I don't, whether you support it or not, I mean, I think it's a big proxy war just to spend money. It's a NATO versus a Russia thing. I think if you just hold the line, they won't do anything. They've clearly seen that we will go to all ends to sit there and thwart them. Is that the right way to say it? So again, it's tough to know what the right answer is, but there's a lot of at-home problems. The cities are a mess. My wife's in Portland. I mean, dude, she can't even walk around her hotel because it's like homeless camps everywhere. And it was raining yesterday. It looked damn depressing, the pictures. Seattle, Denver has that downtown. I mean, you name it, any big city. I mean, it's like immigrants flooding the border. I mean, again, compassion or not, like you can't go anywhere in the world and establish immigrancy. What is it? Blah, blah, blah. You can't establish, what do you call it? God, my brain is a little fart over. You can't be a citizen there just by showing up. Now you can do that here and try to get certain things, but I mean, it's like got hundreds of thousands of people and they're just like running around the cities, man. They're just homeless. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty wild, y'all. I mean, people don't want to admit that. Like, the border is basically wide open. So, again, yeah, your immigration status. Like, if I want to say I want to be a citizen in Germany, I want to be a citizen in Australia, anywhere, they're going to be like, piss off. What are you going to pay us? What is your thinking? And that's the reality of it. I mean, I'm not trying to be political, y'all. That's just the reality. I had some people talking about like, oh, everyone should be able to leave wherever they're going and go anywhere. I'm like, really? Okay, well, that conversation in itself is hard. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad. We're, a lot of sad things going on. But what do you do is just focus on what you can control. That's the truth, though. Yeah, Poland's not letting them in. No way. You see what's going on in Italy? Wow. Like, flooded by African immigrants. Holy shit. Anyway, again, I could go on this topic and be depressing. But let's just make money from the charts, right? Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I mean, SMH, I haven't even really looked at it because I just feel like it's all going lower. People keep talking about a huge short interest, and that's where I do think, man, if we break here, look out 200-day. You could get a squeeze, right? You could get a squeeze. I just don't think we're in a squeezy situation yet. A lot of people keep talking about the options and the gamma and all this stuff, and it's like, man, I have tried to warn people for what seems like my whole life over the last couple years. The shit you're reading, the shit that you know about the actual position status of the market makers and option stuff, I've seen it been completely wrong. So I've kind of taken that off my plate, my palate, to try to like taste and like, well, the gamma is this and their market action is this and they're positioned this way, and it's like, yeah. But that's where we might get a squeeze. Yeah, Deanna, you might get the squeeze at some point when new money comes in at low prices. But think about what I honestly, and this is where I think it gets, excuse me, like burping up a little bit of coffee. This is where if we get the down continuation, you might get like a couple days like this, right? Where's the last time we had first of the month? Yeah, you could get a few days. Is this the first of the month? Yeah. Just remember, the first October is very scary, and I'll repeat why short to me is the obvious answer. I'll repeat this because I think a lot of people want to hear that. It's the mutual fund calendar year. So if they're going to start like rolling over their mutual funds, and a lot of these guys who are mutual fund managers, they're going to start moving stock. Well, if the market gets illiquid, that's a problem. Hedge funds, institutions, brokerages, anyone who has bonus potential that wants to lock in their bonuses for the year will start to do such in the fourth quarter. Right? Yeah, think about it. Well, this is why RSI doesn't matter. If they start unloading, institutions just start unloading. Like, do you think they give a shit about the RSI? They're trying to get paid. That's why I like those things. Like, I agree, it's oversold, but it doesn't necessarily mean it can't go lower. It's like the market RSI. It's overbought, but can't you go higher? So you've got a ton of restructuring, bonus bases, all sorts of stuff. It's kind of like the TLT. Like, people are like, oh, should I buy it? And I'm like, well, not until you get the capitulation. Because right now, like, nobody wants to hold it. Well, what happens if that happens to the market? Yeah, but these are things you can't, like, think about. In political, presidential race, Biden got to keep the market up. Again, keep it simple. Be chart-based. Let's see the evidence. And again, more you're up, less you own. Look for capitulation. VIX is in the 17, 18 range. Not that great. This is why I don't read the news other than just, I want to look at the headlines, see what they're thinking, see how the market's potentially positioned, and then that's all I really need to know. I don't need to sit here and create like a narrative that Biden has to hold the market up. Biden ain't the market. Right? Like there's just so many things that people, I think, it's easy to do, right? Like you get burned, and so you start thinking about what the market is. But I'm just telling you, like I try to keep it simple. Just try to keep it simple based on the charts and what we know. I mean, we know for a fact, end of month, end of quarter. Look at TLT. That could happen to the stock market. That could absolutely happen. Just like the dollar keeps rising. Like that could absolutely happen. People are like, oh, I got to short the dollar. I'm like, it doesn't look like it's ready to drop. Yeah, politics is all bullshit. I agree. I don't like saying like, oh, Biden needs to do this for the market and this and that. I'm like, man, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I agree. Just cleaning up some charts. Again, because you get fixated on things that don't matter. And people go, well, no, it matters. And it's like, well, maybe it matters to you, but the market doesn't care. That's where I try to like differentiate that kind of stuff. Because a lot of people get focused on so many things that don't dictate the market direction. Or it's priced in. Or it's temporary. You know what I mean? So those things just get really lost in people's minds that they focus on. So let's just keep it chart based. Keep it basically simple as possible. I love simple. Because if you sit here and overthink things, you're really going to create stories and narratives in your head of why the market has to go down to 2,500 next week, and then it doesn't. And then you're holding on to your shorts, and you're creating stories in your mind where the market has to do certain things. And it's like, stop it. You can't believe that. You just can't believe that. And I know some people get... I don't mean to be mean, but the reality is like you're focused on things that don't fucking matter. Right? The only thing that matters right now is the budget stuff. No, fundamentals actually don't matter. No, the perception of stocks matter. Fundamentals don't matter. I've seen companies with amazing fundamentals go nowhere. Fundamentals do not matter. Nope, they do not matter. It's momentum, it's money, it's a liquidity game. It's a liquidity game. I repeat, liquidity. To mark up stocks to unload to retail. To knock down stocks to prices that they can accumulate massive amounts. That's what it's about. And then again, the fundamentals, like how do you agree? And this is where I love this conversation, and because it just is hilarious. How do you all agree on what the right price is for a stock? There isn't one. There isn't one. I'm sorry. That's just crazy. Oh, it should trade at this PE based on this future multiple. No, if it was, then like a stock like Tesla would just sit here. The market would not move. Oh, we're priced at perfection. And then it would just wait for moves, and it would just price around. No, fundamentals don't matter. Stocks go up in bull markets. Stocks go down in bear markets. Bear markets, they have monster rallies because there's short interest squeeze. But yes, EXPI. Dude, thank you. EXPI. We are adding agents and stealing them from everywhere. We're growing our company constantly. Endlessly. Because we have low overhead. Everything is cloud-based. Fundamentals are fucking amazing. Our CEO is a genius. I think he does it. He continues to adapt and add ways to make it easier to be an agent, build your business through the online portal with support, endless support. Oh, I don't know what that is. New mail. Trash. Why are you letting me know? I don't care. Look at this. Toast. Don't people talk to me about fundamentals. I want to like slap them in the face. There's no such thing as fundamentals because you can't agree. All you can agree on is future growth. What the proper price? Nobody. That's silly. Hey, did you use that link for interactive brokers? Because I think you get a bonus if you created one. I don't care if you do or not. But Dan, I don't trust Schwab. Here's my little IB guy. Here's my old Schwaby guy. Yeah. Fundamentals. That game drives me nuts because I'm like, in a bull market, people will rationalize holding stuff based on fundamentals. And I'm like, okay. and then they'll short stuff that's not going down in a bull market based on fundamentals, value. Oh, and I've been there. Trust me. How do I know? Because I have been the idiot. I've been that person. Like, show me fundamentals on Tesla. Show me what that made sense. Going in like 2 years from 24 up to 400 and whatever, $18. There's no fucking fundamentals. They're actually selling more cars now and the price is lower. So again, that whole conversation. Oh, you did a couple months ago. Smart. Cool, cool, cool. Sweet. It's not like that. Again, that's where naive folks will sell me on fundamentals. Oh, let's look at WBA. It's cheap. Okay, well, what makes it cheap? Doesn't mean it can't get cheaper. I mean, Scott's talking about it buying again. It did get a bounce. I'll give credit for that, but it's like, I don't know what the right price is. Yes, thank you. There is the bottom line. Bam. You are wasting emotional capital versus keeping things simple and doing what's working. You're trying to outsmart the market, somehow thinking you have figured something out. When the tide goes out, fundamentals matter. Well, I agree with that. I mean, there are no fundamentals, essentially, but it just means like when the tide goes out, it's more like momentum is lost. Tesla's all momentum. NVIDIA's all momentum. There's not fundamentals. Because you can't agree. Like, again, when NVIDIA's trading at, was it 100 times sales or 30 times future earning? I can't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just momentum. I mean, there was honestly the first sign of distro, but they marked this sucker up. It is what it is. That's hard. Sometimes it's hard, y'all. It is hard to know anything. You guys are funny. HYG. I haven't even looked at this in a minute. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, we might get smoked today. I don't know. I mean, watch Apple. The fruit breaks. Market goes rotten. I don't know. Oil smacking up. I mean, is there a headline coming? Did we miss a headline? Any new headlines? Nope. Okay. It's kind of is what it is, I guess, at this point. Any questions? One thing that market has ignored: student loans making a return. I mean, again, that's another like, yeah, I guess. I mean, that probably gets caught up in court again. I don't know all the details. Every situation a little different. Sports are like the market. The simpler you make it, technique, the better you do. Yeah, I agree. Again, especially with trading, like try not to make things so complicated. I mean, you're just going to be wrong at times. And so if you get mad that you didn't know because of some sort of future, yeah, here we go. Something's, you can tell the market's starting to speed up. Someone's doing, it might pop here potentially, but you can tell when people really have like in this mindset that just, they need to know everything. And spend hours and hours and hours trying to like read through the news and like, hey, I got the Wall Street Journal. Did you see this and this and this? And it's like, no, I'd rather spend hours studying the charts and defining my risk and looking for my entries and just trying to do the best I can do. Man, I might have to slap another oil short on. Look at this. Curious, look at the 10-minute volume. Or basically probably the max upside. Where is it? The 10. Did I delete it? No, I hope not. Where is it? Oh, man, I hate when I do this. Oh, there she be. Oh, it's already wicking out before I could even finish it. Sorry, I'm just looking. Processing. Do-do-do-do-do. Like a reflections. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean that looks like the spot. There you go. I have MPC 21 days. Now, what is the 20 on your chart? MPC again. It doesn't have to be perfect. $151.76. Oh no, sorry. You're 150.96. So 3 pennies off. Close enough for government work. Man, the dollar's ripping, shredding. That oil trade right there. I mean, if you're looking for something to do a little short ski on, that makes sense right there. Watch. Ugh, come on. I mean, before I can even finish clicking through it, there you go. I'll just pause. Take a look at that. Yeah. I mean, they're basically the same. 3 cents off. 21 versus 20. That's probably how it's divided. Look at that. Oh, is that a hammer? Is that a little hammer? Now again, what time is it? See how this candle closes, but if this pops up, looks over the previous highs, and then freaking folds, I mean, you could see this thing melt quick. And again, I don't think you can spell market flush without oil getting flushed. It's like, keep in mind, margin, leverage. People have to do what? It's like watching gold here and going, oh, it's not going to drop. Okay, well, as they throw the baby out with the bathwater. Oh, get off the 10-minute for gold. There you go. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns, ideas? Oof. I guess it's not high enough. I'd love to see Exxon just a little higher. You can see it on the 10-minute. Who'd be texting me? You'd really like to see it up here. Somewhere in this. I mean, you're not far. I mean, I don't know. You want to get real cute. MPC, yep, bounce $1. Not surprised. Hit the 20-day bounce. Snapple. Oh God, get off the 10-minute. I just don't understand how people watch that stuff all day, like getting like super. You start getting like superstitious. Start thinking about how do we feel about Costco earnings? Let's look at the chart. Again, I don't even know the numbers. I don't really care, honestly. You really shouldn't. The numbers can be interpreted many things. But the stock was much higher at one point, right? Okay, not too much higher. I mean, there was your novice gap exhaustion. I mean, you could probably argue on the monthly. This is the head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Ooh. If you want to take a gamble, because you are so high, I mean, I think you could buy some puts that could go, like, anticipate worst case scenario, they go to zero, like completely kapow. I think you could do that. I mean, that seems real juicy. Give me a second. Yeah, this is a weekly. That makes sense. I mean, you're just definitely not. I mean, again, it's either about to break out. Yeah, 612. It's either about to break out or get busted because it's compressing. Right? You can see very clearly it's just compressing in this upper, I guess mid-upper 500s. Interesting. It's just I know the options aren't cheap on it. That's all I would be slightly concerned with. But man, that's like a... This is one of those patterns, though. It's either going to go and come back, in my opinion, or it just... This is like the... No momentum left. Everybody is sold up here. Nobody's buying until it gets to lower prices, and this thing could get flushed. I like it. Finally caught something. No, come on, come on. It's just sometimes it's just not a trade every time. That's not a problem. Think about it. I flip through hundreds of charts and I'm not pushing every single one I see. Not going, all right, well, I just stared at AG. There's got to be a trade here. Where's that trade? Where's that trade? Nah, you just, that's just how it is. Like 99% of the stuff you flip through, you're not going to see much, right? So if you find one, it means you probably flip through a lot of charts. So I'll give you credit for that. It's kind of interesting with like these material names looking like 10 o'clock, my time. Ooh. What is I mean, uranium's been on fire. No, I appreciate you just, again, if you guys, you'll start to see the market through that perspective. Like, right, you need some risk, need some reward, need some potential. That could be interesting. These things have been absolutely fire. I feel like Kathy Woods with the win for once. Again, wrong happens. Maybe, but here's a go. Let's just draw the fibs and see if they line up with support resistance. If they do, then you know you're probably topped. Oh. This is interesting. Watch this. Let's move it down to that spot. Game over. It's got to be game over. Look at the fibs, where they line up. Look at this, man. You gotta love. Let me, yeah, you got disconnected, and we're back. Yeah, you gotta love when the fibs line up. That's probably, again, if the here is a classic. Oh, USO popped again. Let me pull that up again. I want to see that 10-minute. They will throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just keep that in mind. If they don't, then that's the outlier. Okay. I'm kind of eyeing this oil stuff. Walmart trading near highs. Yeah, somebody was asking me about that one earlier. I don't know. Walmart is such a recession play at times because supposedly they're slashing prices. So we'll see. And Nvidia, red. Come on, I want to see dude. Did I say dude? You know I'm getting excited about something. Like, dude. I want to see this M. I want to see this action. This just. I want to see the. I mean, I'll even take one of these. I mean, 237 down to 200. I mean, again, I've got some putties on this one. Some in the monies. Oh crap! I had 285s. I rolled out at 285s into 275s. Pretty good. Again, harvesting. Again, and if you're curious why you do that, so here's the thinking. So you have puts that have really good deltas, and you've turned an option into like $5, and now it's into $15 or something. Well, now your risk is $15. Keep that in mind. So if you can take options off and then roll them into, say, the $5 options again of some sort with time, do you see how you've minimized your risk? Your risk is minimized to those $5. Now, if you go and buy 3 times as many options as you did originally, then now your risk is exactly the same. But if you say you had 10 puts, they went from $5 to $15. Now you buy $10 puts at $5 again. You've minimized your risk to those $5 a share. While harvesting the 10, now you're playing with the house's money. Now, if you want to go big, you can. It's just I would wait for extremes. That's just the hardest part. Is I think some people, once they start making money in a trend on options, they feel like they really got to pound it harder and harder. And the thing is, you should probably go less and less the more it moves in your favor, right? So if you start buying more puts as it's moving down, do you see how you're going to get smoked at some point? Because then, if say the market snaps back, your puts might get trapped and they might now be smoked. Yeah, premium huge on both sides. September 2055. 760. Yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's where if you want to buy one Costco put and just pretend like you're rolling the dice. And if it goes red or black, whatever. All right, black, you lose. Red, you win. But I don't mind options that are weeklies when it is Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday. I know the premium's probably jacked. Oh, man. Ooh. Yeah, it implies a huge move either way, but I'm not surprised. Look at it. Things been tightening up hard. Tightening up hard for weeks. I don't know. I don't know. Again, fundamentals, I don't really care about. We know Costco is probably selling a lot of goods as people are trying to save, so they're buying in bulk. But is growth peaking? That's the question you ask yourself. Is growth peaking? Oh, SQQ back over 21. There you go, baby. Is growth peaking? That's the problem. That fundamental analysis is really hard. Now at $8. Yeah, I mean, those options will probably move quick. Oh, man. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Hopefully you're surviving this. And if you're not thriving in this, I don't know why. Let me know. If you want me to take 2 minutes to talk to you directly, feel free. I mean, if you're all in oil and only one thing, then yeah, it's probably hard. But if you've got some like differing positions on different things, because that's where sometimes it's like Moderna, and I've told this, yeah, you're welcome, people, that if you can get into something and it doesn't work, you got to go. You just go. You don't just sit here and go, oh, I don't know. And I mean, I respect some of the guys in the Discord room. They're short and meta, and they're like, it's not working. Not working. Trust me. I think I gave up on it a long while ago. And so if you went to Microsoft or Apple or Amazon or even Google as of lately or Tesla, like, do you see how like that mindset of just, man, I'm not going to sit here and let it get mad at me. No, I definitely didn't move the market. The market started melting before Costco started dropping. There was stuff hitting lows of the day. Oil spiked again. Not spiked, but it's like holding up. Bonds back at the lows, dollar at the high of the day. Yeah, I mean, Meta's gotten me a few times. Trust me. I have the 3 strike, you're out rule. If I short something 3 times and it's just wrong, I'm just gone at least. Max 3. But if it's in a time where the market, and so you think of like the market as the wind at your back to sail, help your sales. If it's not working when you need it to, then you gotta be sometimes just cut it and move somewhere else. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, Meta's, I mean, I really want to watch oil here. Give me the 10. Man, the volume is, well, I guess it's the USO. Man. ExxonMobil, where are you at? Ooh, oh, hey. Now, again, if you have, this is to me where this is the best shorts here, defined risk. Here you go. Take it. Anyone buy the drip when it was in the, was it 9s? I've got some. I can't remember. 950, 948. I can't remember. It was somewhere down in this area. Somewhere in this area. Mid-month. So far, so good. PXD high day. I mean, again, here you go. You know, if you're like sniffing around and you're like, you have all tech. This is again where I think it comes down to very simple things where the market will, in time, the feds will try to go after the oil. Who'll be texting me? Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Ooh, whoa. Whoa. I feel like a large order just went through on USO. Just dropped like, yeah, it blew out and came right. Someone just unloaded on it. Usually don't do much of the shorter term, but every once in a while, again, I don't even have the 1 minute up here because I don't ever use it. Yeah, they squeezed it and someone unloaded into it. It's the biggest volume in a couple hours, but that might be it right there for your oil short. 99 problems. Meta can be, yeah, of course. So again, I appreciate everybody. Any other thoughts, questions? Again, I got another 20 minutes if y'all want. Got another 20. Got another 20. Let's throw an ad in. What is the ad? I'm just curious. Every once in a while they ask me to throw an ad in, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, what is the ad that pops up? Viagra? Cialis? Get rich quick? Bitcoin? Or digital currency traders? Trust me, I've never moved the market, Danny. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe in some like really small stocks or light options. That's about it. Meta can be tough. Yeah, Meta is tough. This current stream bitrate is lower than recommended. Yeah, I bet it is. This internet is poo. Some president ad for me. Oh, really? Which president? Did you get a Smoking Joe in his Chevy? Camaro? Old Camaro? Or no, he had a Firebird, didn't he? Respect. Gotta like the Firebird. Let me see if I can pull up do I have the time and sales? Oh, I do. Hello. Let's see. Yeah, you had someone flush out when it. So they squeezed it. And then boom. Somebody just kept odd lots. Yeah. Not big volumes though. Sometimes I watch this. Yeah, I've got it monetized. I don't think you really make money on YouTube until you have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And again, if you want to do the biggest favor, I guess just play the daily recaps to the end. Maybe that's the best way. I don't know, whatever. I know my dad just plays them and lets it run in the background. I'm like, thanks, you made me 3 cents. Nikki Haley, gotcha. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Man, I really want to see this flop here. Because then I think you could get the whole shebang here. Dollar at the highs. I'll get off the 10-minute. Get it out of here. Where's the Exxon? Yeah, you got it. I think you got it. Big one. I mean, I could throw ads in constantly. I just forget about them. I'm not really. It's like difference between maybe $1. Sweet. Man, Netflix, that thing got smoked. What's up with Starbucks? Uh-oh. Not good. Didn't Howard Schultz leave again? Mr. Softy. I mean, this thing has been... Remember we talked about this peaking. Ooh, this is at range lows. You know it would be really sneaky and mean? If the market closed here in this vicinity today and then gap down tomorrow, and then maybe it gets like a big dump and then you take some profits and you just go, all right, let's just see what happens at the end of the month, first couple days, and just relax. Take it easy. Take the rest of the week off. And then come back again. Because if you're going to trade really aggressively, you need some bigger moves to really start new positions. Does that make sense? Like, you don't want to start shorting Tesla at 250 if it says it does hold down here. Or say like Microsoft. You're not going to short it here in the 312 to 315 range. $100,000 trading account? All right, I'll throw another ad in. You guys let me know. I'm just curious. Man, Tesla gonna go red again? Danny, do you still got your Caterpillar short? That's the one I'm waiting for, the waterfall. I think I've got a couple hundred shares, and then I got like 10 puts that are not this week, not the next week. I think it's the 13th. If I remember right, 13th puts at 275. It's like, oh, come down. I'll take a 30-pointer if it happens. No, I covered a small profit. Caterpillar's hard, so you gotta buy time. We're getting pinged on the Discord room. Sox is printing big. Oh yeah, yeah. If you bought this thing at the lows, you feel good, feel bueno. Let's see what's in the news and noise. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if there's a perfect trading platform because again, I don't think they make them easy. That's why eSignal, I like it, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap. Yeah, congrats, Demi. Or Demdigs. I mean, are we waiting on an Apple headline? Because I have a feeling they're not going to sell as many. All right, see you, Eric. I'm glad when, yeah, no doubt. No diggity, no doubt. News and noise. Not sure. Yeah, I like the app. I definitely like the app, if you can hear me. I don't mind the app. I just all these desktop apps for these, they're all kind of mediocre. They're all kind of mediocre. They want you to pay for things and they want all this sort of. I'm just watching. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of got oil in my targets, like, because I don't see the market completely melting down unless oil rolls. And some of you guys have been around. We got a couple minutes, right? Yeah. You're familiar with this repeating pattern. Is like there'll be something, pretend it's NVIDIA, right? That's holding the market up, and then when the market's like just can't hold the pressure, it unloads, and then they all go with it. They all go with it. Yeah, here's the XOP coming into that range. Yeah, you've got like some highs here. You got like some inflection points here. You got some inflections here. Got these candle wicks here. I mean, at 146, 147. I mean, if you got to 149, that would be kind of wild. But icon pass. No, I've already got the icon pass, bro. I don't want to watch the Broncos play football either. I just got an email about it. It's like, no, Broncos. They're awesome. All right. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Because, again, you got my time. If you want to ask a question, be selfish. I really don't care. I have no problems with people saying, tell me this if you can. Look at this chart. Man, remember, I'm just going to go back into my own mental history and just be like, remember Arrow, ERO? Like it could do no wrong. You were like, oh, I want to buy it at 15. I'm like, ooh. No, Eagles are going to smoke KC this year. Eagles reloaded. They're better than last year. I think KC has lost a step. And you can't lose to Detroit at home in the opener. Beating the Bears, that's like beating up your little brother. It's pretty normal. KC probably will win the AFC, though. I'm not going to disagree with that. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, remember Arrow? Remember everyone's like, oh, man, I missed this one. It's like, no, Eric just left. If you remember KL, this feels like a KL moment where this thing's going to come back into this range down here, and then it's going to have a 30 handle at some point. Man, market's getting a little nervous. What's going on here, guys? What's going on here? News and noise? Anything else? Yeah, I don't trust Schwab, man. I just don't. I don't want to be caught. Don't want to be caught. What else? Yeah, any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Taylor Swift is in a cheerleading outfit. Did you see Travis Kelce's jersey sales are up 500% this weekend? I guess all the Swifties are buying his jersey. I'm going to laugh when he dumps her next week. He's going to be like, thanks. Or maybe he'll give it a couple weeks. He's probably got to build some endorsements. He's like, you're not that hot. And you're probably crazy. Crazy being the key problem. Oh, come on, Caterpillar. Getting a little excited here. You see the oil is starting to come. Come on down. I love when the trades line up perfectly when we're watching the videos. If you took the oil trade, holler at your boy. Let me know. I got a tinker back here on the side and playing with this. Time to add a little. Oops. Did that open up my screen? What is in my background? I don't think there's much in that one. This picture of my old dog. All right. That's Team Oil. Team Oil short. Squeeze on me. Oh well. I'd rather short it here than at 80 on the USO. Am I talking quiet? Maybe. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? I mean, Apple looks good. Caterpillar looks good. NPC kind of bounced. Not surprised. Oil bounce around. ExxonMobil hit that mid 116s. I mean, if you got your Amazon. I mean, there's some names that you just, like Apple. It's like, what are you going to do at this point? You can't short them. I mean, unless you really want to, like, stick it and then take $1 and run. That's the only thing I would really do with that is if you really, but again, that's where you're just make $1, lose $1 pretty quickly. Like imagine if all of a sudden headline McCarthy comes out and goes, well, we'll work with Democrats to pass a bill. Cut out all the more fiscally conservative Republicans. I mean, he could do that. I mean, there's already talk of him doing that, so got to get that money for Ukraine, son. Got to get it. All right, I'm going to roll because it's getting pretty quiet here. I'm talking to myself. If you have any questions, hit me up. Again, I appreciate all the love and support. You guys, the donations, again, they're not required, but I appreciate it. Buy me a beer. Again, cut your tuition bill, hopefully by thousands of percent, because you don't want to have to make all the mistakes. And that's where maybe like example of a mistake today. Yeah, you guys are welcome. Buying bonds. I get it. You want it. You want it. But it's not the end of the quarter. So is there better trades out there? Yeah. I know it. Short dollar. Makes sense, right? Does it? I don't know. Been hot. So hot. Oil. Tight stops. This is where I think they will try to intentionally beat something up. Bet Dolphins -11 versus the Jets. I hate when spreads get big. Over 10 points. I mean, everyone thinks they're going to beat them up. Yep. Yeah. Again, if you have questions, take the Calendar link. Hit me up if you have neck, shoulder issues. Again, I'm going to drop that link. Give me 2 seconds. Because this one has been, I mean, people go to chiropractors. I'm not a big fan. But I do know they help out. But one of the things they'll talk about at times is that it's not like your rib is out of place fully, but they shift with the muscles and tension. And I'm telling you, do these exercises if you have that kind of little annoying pain. Here, I'll drop it in the chat as well. Takes 30 seconds. I've been doing this the last couple days, and I've had like kind of what it feels like a slightly baby pinched nerve in my neck. Gone. I'm all about it. So, all right, you guys have a great afternoon. I will talk to you guys and gals another time. Peace.